brain theory.
You didn't waste the day. You survived it. But the world won't clap for that. Because surviving looks like nothing from the outside. Like laying on the bed, like scrolling through your phone, like silence, like stillness, like laziness. But you and I both know, you've been fighting a war no one sees. And that's the secret no one told you. Exhaustion doesn't come from movement, it comes from resistance. And when your mind has been locked in survival mode, when your nervous system has been quietly screaming for years, your body stops asking for rest. It starts demanding relief. And relief? You haven't felt that in a long time. 2. The nervous system never sleeps. Let's get real. Your nervous system, the one thing keeping you alive, doesn't care about your to-do list. It cares about safety. And when it doesn't feel safe, when your brain is flooded with what-ifs, regrets, unfinished pain, or stored trauma, it flips a switch. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. You can be sitting still. Lights off, music off, phone off. But inside, your brain is cycling through every possible threat. Every awkward moment you had in 2014. Every rejection, every look, every silence that meant too much. So no, you weren't resting. You were surviving. And surviving doesn't recharge you. It drains you. That's why you wake up tired. That's why lying down doesn't help. Because your body is obeying the only command it's getting. Stay alert. Something might hurt. 3. The hidden weight you carry. You know what the heaviest part of your body is? The part no one can see. It's not your legs, not your spine. It's the emotional load you've been carrying in silence. It's the mask, the one that smiles when you're empty. The one that says, "I'm fine," while your chest is screaming. It's all the apologies you swallowed to keep the peace. All the emotions you buried to be liked. All the strength you faked because people expect you to be resilient. You weren't born tired. You were conditioned to hold everything in. And over time, that pressure builds. Quietly, invisibly, brutally. Until one day lifting your head off the pillow feels like carrying a mountain. And no one knows why. But I do. You've been strong in silence for too long. 4. The lie of doing nothing. You think you need to earn your rest, don't you? You think unless the house is clean, the inbox is empty, your day was productive. You're not allowed to feel tired. But let me ask you, when did rest become something we have to deserve? Because here's the truth you won't hear on Instagram. Doing nothing is still doing something when your body is healing, when your soul is stitching itself back together, when your mind is sifting through emotional wreckage it was never taught how to process. You're not tired because you did too little. You're tired because for years you've done too much internally. And no one saw that, but your body did. And now it's telling you, I'm done pretending I'm fine. 5. The background noise of survival. Imagine this. You open a million tabs on your computer. You minimize them all. The screen looks clean, but the system, it's burning, slowing down, overheating. That's your mind right now. You've minimized trauma, grief, worry, fear, heartbreak. You've hidden them under performance, distraction, work. You've told yourself, I'll deal with it later. But later never came. And now the noise is unbearable, even if you can't hear it. The mind remembers. The body keeps the score. And the nervous system? It doesn't care how busy you are. It only wants to survive. So while you think you're doing nothing, your system is running 1,000 emergency processes in the background. And that's why your limbs feel heavy. That's why you need 5 alarms to get up. That's why you cancel plans and feel guilty for not showing up. You're not weak, you're just overloaded. And nobody gave you the manual for what to do when that happens. 6. The burnout. No one talks about. You want to know what true burnout is? It's not collapsing after a 60-hour work week. It's not a deadline crushing you in real time. It's walking through life with a numb heart. It's laughing at jokes that don't touch you. It's losing interest in what used to light your soul. It's waking up in the morning and thinking, again? And the worst part? You still function. You still show up. You still perform. Because you've trained yourself to be good at dying slowly. That's the kind of burnout no one writes productivity hacks for. The kind that comes from emotional dehydration, where you've poured and poured and poured, but no one ever taught you how to refill. So you start to believe the lie. Maybe I'm just broken. Maybe I'm lazy, useless, dramatic. But you're not. You're just empty. And emptiness isn't a flaw. It's a signal, a sacred whisper that says, it's time to come home to yourself. 7. The truth that sets you free. Here it is. The truth you've been circling, avoiding, escaping. You're not tired because you're lazy. You're tired because you've been fighting your whole life without rest. You're tired because your nervous system is exhausted from being hypervigilant. You're tired because you've been pretending you're okay in a world that punishes sensitivity. You were never given the space to fall apart. So now even your rest feels like another performance. But hear me. You don't need to earn your healing. You don't need to explain your pain. You don't need to justify your slowness, your stillness, your need to hide. You are allowed to be where you are. You are allowed to be undone. You are not a machine. You are a soul carrying centuries of memory. You are a body that's been on alert for too long. You are a spirit that's starving for gentleness. So what's the solution? It's not a productivity app. It's not a morning routine. It's not pushing through. It's listening. Listening to the quiet part of you that says, please, let me breathe. You heal not by forcing movement, but by making space for stillness. True rest isn't the absence of effort. It's the presence of safety. 8. The emotional punch and reflection call. Let me leave you with this. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not broken. You are tired. Because you've been strong in the dark for too long. Because you've carried stories no one listened to. Because your nervous system learned the language of fear before it ever tasted peace. And now it's begging you. Not for more effort, not for more pressure, but for softness, for grace, for forgiveness. It's time to stop calling yourself lazy, for responding perfectly to a world that demanded your silence. It's time to stop blaming your body, for collapsing under a weight that was never meant to be carried alone. Your fatigue is sacred. It is the evidence that you have survived. And now you're allowed to rest. Now you're allowed to rebuild. Now you're allowed to come back to yourself without apology. If you felt seen in this video, if something cracked open in you, I want you to comment, I am not lazy, I am healing. Say it loud. Say it in the dark. Say it in your journal if you can't say it here. But say it. Because it's true. And maybe, just maybe, that truth will be your first real breath in years. Thanks for watching and see you in the next Brain Theory video.